This girl that I love so much had just faltered publicly in one of the more important moments of her life, and I was there to watch it. It was a college volleyball game, and it was a big game. And when I met her after the game, I could see all the emotions in her face. It was actually easy to see because her eyes were red because she'd been crying, and I didn't know what to do. So I walked up to her and I gently put one hand on each side of her face. And I looked her in the eyes and I just held her there for a moment. Felt like a long time. Well, she later told me, surprisingly, that when I put my hands on her face like that, it helps calm her. She actually described this as one of the ways that she feels loved by me. And that really blew me away because I never did it intentionally. It was more kind of an instinctual thing that I did as her dad. But today, I want to talk with you about how we can help our kids regulate their emotions. Such a big deal because kids nowadays have such a hard time doing this. If you're a parent like me, you've been there. We've all been there. Kids laying on the floor, they're screaming, they're crying, they're melting down, they're overwhelmed for some reason, and nothing we say seems to work. We might even be calm ourselves. We try logic with them, but nothing works. They just keep melting down. So when we're dealing with kids that are melting down, what are some tools that we can use to help calm them? Like, how do we help them regulate their emotions? First, let's talk about what emotional regulation really means. It doesn't mean we're trying to stop them from having feelings. It's really about helping kids learn how to feel without losing control. In my work, I see so many kids who were never taught what to do with their feelings of frustration, sadness, disappointment. And I'm telling you, when kids are overwhelmed, they'll usually do one of two things. They either externalize their feelings, which means they act out in anger and defiance, or they internalize their feelings, which means they isolate and withdraw. So, how do we teach kids how to deal with their feelings in ways that are effective and actually helpful for them? Well, I'll tell you, you can't help a child regulate their feelings if they feel unsafe or overwhelmed. There's a famous psychiatrist, Dr. Daniel Siegel, he's out of UCLA. He made this statement once that I love. Children learn to self regulate through repeated experiences of being co regulated by a calm, attuned adult. That's us. Basically, our kids learn to self regulate through us. And this is why our emotional connection with them is always so important and it's always the first step. So, your child's ability to calm down depends on them feeling safe, seen, and connected to you, not on logic, not on advice, definitely not on correcting them. And here's why. Emotional regulation starts in our nervous system, so it's not in our brain's logic center. So, when any of us are upset, if we're scared, if we're overwhelmed, our limbic system takes over. The limbic system part of our brain is the emotional brain. The prefrontal cortex, now that's the part that's responsible for reasoning and logic and self control, but that basically checks out, it goes offline. And so until your child feels safe, they literally will be unable to access the part of their brain that helps them think logically and behave appropriately. Now, connection also, in and of itself, calms the brain. So, just like I did with my daughter when I put my hands on her face, when a parent connects with their child by being calm and present and emotionally attuned, your child's nervous system will settle down. This is actually what co regulation is called. So, in short, your calm helps create their calm. Now, feeling understood is also what allows a child to let go of their distress. So when they know that you get it, when you see their sadness, their frustration, and you're not judging them, they will feel less alone and that helps them de stress. Now, connection also builds long term wiring for self regulation. So over time, when we consistently help our kids regulate through connection, they will start to internalize that process. They'll start to learn how to calm themselves because they've experienced what calm and safety feels like in a relationship. Now, I'm going to give you 4 steps to co regulate with your child. And I'm going to give you some tools. Number one, you have to stay calm and regulated yourself because if your nervous system is jacked up, theirs will stay jacked up. So you take deep breaths, soften your voice, maintain a calm presence. When you're regulated, you create that space for them to calm down too. Number two, you can validate their experience without fixing it. Don't fix their experience. Sometimes we just need to sit with them in their pain without trying to fix anything. But how do you validate without fixing? I'll bring up Daniel Siegel again. He came up with this technique called name it to tame it. And I love this. So instead of trying to solve their problems, you simply say something like, you seem really frustrated right now, or that must have felt really disappointing, or are you feeling kind of left out? This is simply giving them words for what they're experiencing. And when you name their emotion accurately, it actually helps their brain process and release the intensity of that emotion. Step number 3, you can use co-regulation techniques together. So you can engage in calming activities side by side. I'm going to give you a couple of tools. One of them is really simple. I love this tool. It's called box breathing, and you can do it together. It actually helps calm your nervous system. It's very simple. Breathe in for 4 seconds, usually through your nose. Hold it for 4 seconds. Breathe out for 4 seconds and hold it 4 seconds. And then just repeat. So breathe in for 4, hold for 4, breathe out for 4, hold for 4. You do that over and over. There's another really great technique that we use in helping people calm their nervous system. And this one might be a little more effective for older kids. It's called the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise. This is an evidence-based tool that will help any of you reduce your anxiety and help you kind of get back into the present moment. And basically, the 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise uses your 5 senses to calm your nervous system. So 5, name 5 things that you can see. You can just look around, say it out loud. I see a chair, I see a tree, I see a window, whatever it is that you see. 4, name 4 things that you can touch. You can touch your shirt, you can touch the floor, you can touch a table. 3, name 3 things that you can hear. So pay attention to the sounds around you. It could be a clock ticking, it could be birds, it could be a car outside. 2, name 2 things that you can smell. So just think of 2 smells that you like if you don't smell anything in the moment. And then 1, name 1 thing that you can taste. Again, it can be if you're chewing gum, toothpaste, anything, right? So 5-4-3-2-1 connects us to our senses. 5 things you can see, 4 things you can touch, 3 things you can hear, 2 things you can smell, 1 thing you can taste. And what this does is it helps shift the focus away from our racing thoughts or our emotional overwhelm, and it anchors our attention in the here and now, and it actually helps our body and our mind reset. And I've used this with lots of clients, and I've seen it work really effectively. Basically, these different techniques activate our parasympathetic nervous system, which is the part of our body that's responsible for helping us calm down. Last thing you can do when you're calm is to problem solve together. When the emotional intensity has died down, that's when you start talking about solutions. You can ask things like, what do you think might help next time? Or how can we handle this differently? All of this will really build their confidence in managing their emotions. So again, to recap, if you can stay connected to your child, that will help calm them. The emotional connection that you have with them is so critical. You can use techniques like box breathing, 5-4-3-2-1 grounding exercise, and you can also use the name it to tame it technique. If this message resonated with you, I'd love you to share it with somebody who you think might need it. You can also like and subscribe here, and I'll see you next time.